Your Excellency, Excellencies, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Over the years, trade between nations of the world had developed into a certain pattern, with developing nations being exporting mostly minerals, raw materials and semi-finished products, and developed nations being exporters of technology, knowledge, high-end innovative products. But there has been a gradual shift in this, particularly in China and to some extent in India, who are becoming more and more knowledge based economies. They are also becoming powerhouses of home market consumption, apart from being locations of low cost manufacturing and services. This change, being in China and India, which account for 40% of global population, will have a major impact on world trade. Having huge home markets, they can also drive economies of scale and possibly negate the impact of gradually diminishing labor arbitrage. These trends that the world trade, these are trends that the world trade is not used to for several decades. The recent global financial crisis is hastening the restructuring of the world economic order, and a global economic rebalancing is surely underway. There are several complex issues in this rebalancing of the global economy. The combination of low saving rates, high consumption behavior, high fiscal deficits, coupled with the inherent lower competitiveness of the developed world as compared to the developing world, could result in a very, very slow recovery in the developed world. At the same time, the developing world, which has had the advantage of low labor costs for a long time and continue to do so to some extent, are now becoming knowledge or powerhouses, technology savvy, and increasing their productivity levels. These countries are also becoming major consumption points. Added to this is the increasing tension that may happen to readjust the currency values resulting from the much faster GDP growth rates in the developing countries as compared to the developed world. The temptation to adopt protectionism is another challenge to overcome. So it's not easy to predict as to how exactly all these will pan out in terms of speed and intensity. But surely all these will have a major impact on world trade. And I can see both Mr. Lamy and Patricia having loads of work in the very near future. I have been asked by Patricia to say a few words on the Tata Group of India that I work for and its efforts to be competitive and to be global. The Tata Group was formed in India 150 years ago with the founding philosophy that the prime purpose of a business corporation is to improve the quality of life of people around. And to do this prime purpose well, the business corporation needs to be run well and profitably so that part of the profits can go back to the society. Today, the Tata Group has a revenue of over $70 billion, has operation in over 80 countries, exports its products and services to 85 countries around the world, and employs over 350,000 people. The parent company of the group, Tata Sons, is held 66% by public philanthropic trusts. It has several innovations to his credit in products, services, and in social innovations. 65% of the group's revenue comes from outside India. We have a strong belief in social and environmental responsibility as being an integral part of our business. We believe in constant improvement and continuous innovation. We have made several acquisitions around the world, but we work as partners rather than as acquirers. We believe we need to serve the bottom of the pyramid market. We created the people's car, the Nano, which costs less than $2,500, a water filter for the masses that costs just about $10, a hotel chain where you can stay for less than $25 a day in clean and efficient surroundings, and several such products. Many of these characteristics of the Tata Group have made countries and corporations invite us as partners rather than we forcing ourselves on them. The Tata Group believes that in whichever country it is present, it must be part of the development process of that country. And this is fundamental to our value system. We are present in China, of course, and are delighted to contribute in our own small way to the tremendous growth and prosperity of China. Thank you and best wishes for a wonderful conference.